welcome to another edition of the PHNX D-backs podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla. His name is Shawn DePaz. The Arizona Diamondbacks are a wagon.
Yeah, they are.
And
Jesse Friedman is still in a hurricane.
Yeah, Jesse lost a lot of sleep last night over Jesse Friedman being in San Diego for Hurricane Hillary, and I have no idea where he is. Is he safe? Is he okay? Is he drinking enough water?
I mean,
none of these questions I have answers to.
He better be drinking enough water. There's plenty of it out there.
It's so weird. That's not the way water works. That's salt water. You need regular.
Well, no, I'm talking about the rainwater.
Yeah, rainwater, so whatever. But we're not here to talk about Jesse missing right now. We are here to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks taking 3 out of 4 against the San Diego Padres in San Diego. Initial reaction, were you shocked at this result?
No, I mean, I wasn't shocked because, I had been saying all year, the truth of what the Diamondbacks were like somewhere in between the month of July and what they were in the first half of the season. Fair. And B, there's a reason that the Padres are behind the Diamondbacks in the standings, despite all of this losing. At the end of the day, I get what their lineup looks like, but at the end of the day, the Diamondbacks have been having all in all a better season than the San Diego Padres. So those are games that they should have won, and they obviously had been losing a lot of games that they should have won, but at no point it still ultimately were games that they should have won.
Brett Johnson in the chat says that's why I left San Diego after game number 2 because I wasn't getting trapped there. Ha 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 ha. Jesse, that's directed at you.
It's almost like getting trapped in the hurricane was a choice of your own.
Yeah, like you could have made maybe a different choice where you didn't get trapped in the hurricane and weren't here for Mailbag Monday. But hey, who are we? Well, we're just all trying to find the guy who did this, right? I will say that, of course, in a series where you had Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen both going in the series, you did have to feel very good about that series. Both of those guys got the wins. The one who didn't, Brandon Pfaadt, of course,
so sick.
Who still does not get his elusive first victory
this poor
as
guy,
a major
man.
leaguer. It makes you ill. It makes you sick to your stomach.
He's Jacob DeGromming it up right now.
He really is. And he was absolutely lights out. In the one game in this series where the Arizona Diamondbacks couldn't generate any offense at all, losing 4-0, Pfaadt was lights out. He went 7 innings pitched. He gave up one hit, no runs,
and that hit only came immediately after Steve Peters loudly in a group full of people said, "Oh my God, he has a no-hitter."
Are we going to talk about it?
Have never made a bigger fool of myself yelling at a grown man in public than in the way I reacted to Petey ruining.
Let's talk about Petey immediately. I've never in my lifetime seen such an immediate. It was like an ATM machine. You put in your card, you put the number in, and then
the money comes out.
Then terribleness happened. The hit happened because Petey was. Boy, what did he say? He said Pfaadt hasn't given him a hit yet.
In fairness to Petey, he was not the first one to make mention of it, but he said it loud enough for the entire party to hear.
Yeah.
In a conversation he was having with Howard. We had a family we
were all at Saul's house enjoying Saul's meat. We all were enjoying Saul's meat.
And I can say this confidently: the best meat I've ever put in my mouth in my entire life.
Such good meat in my mouth. Yeah, it was really good.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, but of course, like you said, in a public setting, the Diamondbacks had to ruin it for that.
Yeah.
That was the one game we were all together. We were all enjoying watching
Brandon
baseball
Pfaadt
together.
has a no-hitter, and there's a line drive to center field. I think that's how it ended.
You did it the right way. You texted me, and you said, "Look at the box score," and that's it. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah,
like a man,
like a baseball purist.
There's a thing that's happening.
There is something going on.
We're not going to acknowledge it, but we just want everybody to be aware that there was a thing that was happening. And, of course, that thing got ruined by Steven Peters. But Brandon Pfaadt, again, still can't get that elusive first win, but he is still very good for this team.
I almost accidentally sent my friend Luke, who I haven't seen in 3 years, a text
about us yelling?
Baseball.
Yeah, about screaming about that. But, you can say what you will about Brandon Pfaadt. He is the starting pitching answer that the Diamondbacks have been seeking.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that as he gets one start after the next, I think we're seeing him become better and better and better. In fact, in his 4 starts in August, Pfaadt has a 2.96 ERA, 25 strikeouts, and 1 home run allowed.
Yeah, the 1 home run is a huge thing to me because I think pretty early on he kind of started getting the reputation. There's okay, he's going to at least give up 1, right? I mean, there was the Reds game where he gave up 3 straight or whatever, and it was he kind of became... His reputation became he was going to get bit. Whether or not the outing as a whole was good, he was going to get bit by the home run ball at some point. And to see that he has cut down on that significantly is very, very encouraging, especially, in this division and with a home park like Chase Field. And, obviously you go play at Coors a couple of times. it's especially important for this team's pitchers to be able to keep the ball in the park. And to see that he's done that recently is a very, very encouraging sign.
Yeah. It's just I think the most encouraging factor is going back a few weeks about Brent Strom talking about moving him to the other side of the rubber and seeing the improvement that's made.
Yeah, seeing that it's something as little as that make a significant improvement is really encouraging, knowing that it was just a slight mechanics fix. It wasn't anything bigger than that.
Well, and I mean, and that's what you have someone like Brent Strom here for, to make guys better. Not necessarily to change everything about them, but to coach them and to find things that from their perspective they can see that are going to be improvements for this game. Strom was really big on Brandon Pfaadt's arm slot and the way that how deceptive his pitches can look coming out of his arm. But I think someone said it in chat. We don't know why his teammates hate him, because they can't seem to muster up enough for him to get his first win. Meanwhile, Bryce Jarvis in the finale got his first career win in a bullpen start.
Wait, are you going to be at the park tonight?
I might be.
Can you just ask somebody, being like, "Why, Tori? Why does the entire team fucking hate Brandon Pfaadt?"
Yeah, I think that's a fair question.
Ask him that straight up.
That's a fair question to ask. But Jarvis goes 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, no strikeouts. But he gets his first victory before Brandon Pfaadt does, which just doesn't seem fair. The big story of the weekend, though, is Tommy Pham getting into it with a fan at Petco Park. Apparently, according to Tommy Pham, the fan allegedly called him a piece of shit. And Tommy Pham has had several problems with fans. This wasn't the first time. He's had fans. He had a problem the night before while not at the ballpark with a fan, and just carried over. Tommy had the fan ejected, and this is what he had to say about the incident.
I mean, I'm all about good banter. He stepped out of line and said something that got him kicked out. The fans here, man, I just don't get it. Not even at the field, even away from the field, it's just completely disrespectful. So I don't know, maybe they weren't raised right, because I was always taught respect until someone doesn't give you it. So, it is what it is.
What were they saying today?
Older white gentleman called me a piece of shit, so I don't think that's acceptable, especially when you're so close to the on-deck circle. So neither do the security, and I'm sure Pete doesn't think it's acceptable too, the owner of the Padres.
What happened off?
Just a lady, she's just not really educated in the baseball sense, because she told me she was drunk, F you, Tommy Pham, that's why we got rid of you. And I'm like, lady, I reached free agency. They didn't get rid of me. And I was like, in fact, they tried to re-sign me in free agency. So just people, man. Right outside the hotel. So.
There's a lot of talk about whether or not Tommy Pham overreacted or not. And I think the thing is we probably all heard people say worse things to athletes at a ball game. We might have even said worse things to athletes at a ball game, but there's something to be said about being so close, being in the second row, being in the first row, being so close that you're going to say something like that to another human being and have them hear you, which, by the way, we know the answer to the old Who song, Tommy, Can You Hear Me? The answer is yes, I heard you, every word you said, and I'm going to get you ejected out of the ballpark. Now, I don't know. I think that there is something funny about like being awful to an athlete and then also screaming foul when they turn around and talk to you or heard you say it or request security to come do something about it. Security was in the area, so Tommy Pham didn't necessarily just like need to make a big deal about it, because security was aware of the incident happening. But Torey Lobello backed up Pham, and he said that the fans there in San Diego were being fairly terrible to him. This is what Torey had to say about the fans.
I don't know. These fans are awful to Tommy. I hear some terrible things coming from the stands. It's not just the normal "you're a bum" stuff. It's deeper. It's ugly, and I've been uncomfortable with it from my vantage point. And I just noticed that there was some sort of discussion happening between him and somebody near the on-deck circle, and it's my job to protect the players. I'm going to have players back every single time. And I don't know the details of it. I just didn't like what was coming out of these fans' mouth. And it's real. I'm not making that up. If you get near our dugout, you'd be amazed at what's being said by young kids too, not by young adults who you probably would expect it from, and adults. All I know is Tommy Pham has been a tremendous teammate, an intense competitor, and has raised our standard here since he's gotten here. And I'm gonna have his back every time.
It's wild because I do wonder what fans like when you're talking about little kids saying stuff. I mean, I get it though, because to me, it's like little kids are like fans that have never been to a game before. They don't have that realization that is literally a human being in front of you, like
and
10
also,
feet away
like,
from you.
Even on a positive side, you think about, or at least from a personal perspective, how I viewed professional athletes when I was a kid. Like, they were not human; they were godlike.
They were absolutely comic book.
The idea of of as a kid being able to hurt a professional athlete's feelings, like, it's not something I would have even fully comprehended. So, like, as far as kids are concerned, like, I'm not going to sit here and get super upset about kids saying dumb shit to professional athletes.
Yeah,
the parents need to do a better job raising them kids.
Yeah,
but like, I mean, grown ass people being. Like, because I mean, the thing is like, this happened. Like, people being mean to athletes happens every single second of every single professional
every single game. Yeah.
So for it to be bad enough for this team to have to say something about it, I think is indicative of how bad it is. And then also, like, as someone mentioned in the chat, this is why Torrey still has this job and why people love Torrey and why the team seems to love Torrey is because he protects his players. Like, he is a player's coach. And
he's going to protect them both in their reputation. He's going to literally protect them. Like, if something were to go down on the field, Torrey loves his guys like that. Yeah. And Torrey takes that role very seriously over being, kind of a father figure in a way to these guys, but also just backing them up when they deserve to be backed up.
Gabriel's comment is
Tommy Pham. Someone else said it back there, but one thing to keep in mind here is Tommy Pham is not out of pocket in being fed up with fans' behavior. Tommy Pham was stabbed at a strip club one time, and that was in San Diego. So, and not like a little stabbing either. Like, I mean, got his entire prick. It's not like a little stabbed you. No, cut him open. Tommy Pham could have lost his life. And so, like, I kind of understand Pham permanently. Kind of,
being on that fuck San Diego train, I would be too.
Not even, I mean, even when it comes to just like shit talking fans, even, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because there's trauma involved with getting stabbed like that. There is something that's not going to ever really be cool with you with strangers and stuff, especially when he was talking about like the altercation at the hotel the night before. So I feel like in a way that this particular incident kind of was like. It came to a head, like it was like kind of bubbling, and it was kind of it was festering there for Tommy between the incident that happened the night before and just a lot of stuff that happened. But someone said it in the chat. People in the crowd were yelling "stab, stab, stab" at Tommy. Like, you talk about who's a piece of shit here. You have to be a real piece of shit to start chanting "stab" at somebody that actually got stabbed, right? So. Respectfully, go fuck yourself if that's in the words of my partner here. But I don't really think Tommy Pham was wrong, and I think more athletes. The one thing that is really easy to forget is that they are real people, and they shouldn't have to put up with just like the nastiest heckling that you can find.
I want to say, because it's kind of going on a conversation in the chat, like, and it kind of do a conversation we were having while the video was playing, like. This team has been around since the 60s, and like this is like there are a lot of bandwagon fans on this team. They, I think, had a very good mixture of having really cool jerseys drop at the same time that they got good and had cool players, so they became really popular amongst young people.
Sure.
And the Chargers left.
So they were all they had in San Diego. So like there's a lot of fans there who probably don't really who are acting like this, who don't actually represent the large majority of San Diego Padres fans,
sure.
Which is how sports work, how fandoms work. There's always people who run it for everybody else, but like it definitely does feel like this is a very interesting situation with San Diego because of, like I said, there's a lot of people who aren't really Padres fans, are just fans of what the Padres have been over the last few years.
Michael wants to know how I didn't sneak in a "Go fuck yourself, San Diego" in there. Yeah. I like the city of San Diego. I'm not telling the entire city to go fuck themselves.
I had a great time the time I was there.
Really terrible fans that say things like "stab, stab, stab" to somebody that's gotten stabbed. You know, I don't know. I don't feel like there's like my line isn't really rigid, but I think that's where I feel like you cross the line.
Yeah, I mean, right? We're talking about. We're playing with somebody's life here, and it's one thing if we're talking about like Plexico Burris, motherfucker shot himself. Like that's different. But this dude got stabbed by somebody else in that city.
If he would have stabbed himself, then we might.
Right.
Might be
it's like okay. You make fun of him. That's funny because he did it to himself.
But Tommy Pham has played for almost every team in baseball. It feels like. So I mean,
and that's also the other thing. Yeah, like it's not like he's out here. And I get that this is a guy who slapped another man over fantasy football.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's not like he's been doing this over every fan base. Right? Like it's just kind of happened here, a place where he has history.
We tried to warn you though. We told you not to play with Tommy Pham. We told you that we told you that when he got picked up as during the trade deadline. So maybe listen to us a little bit more, and maybe you wouldn't get yourself kicked out of baseball games. But again, the important part here isn't that the Arizona Diamondbacks had this incident happen, because that sucks and it's kind of a black eye on a really good weekend for the Arizona Diamondbacks, taking 3 out of 4 over the Padres and really distancing themselves from the Padres when we take a look at the wild card standings. Because again, we talk about this pack, we talk about these teams being closely bunched together. Look at that, goddamn Padres aren't even on here anymore. Just fell right off.
They could have been, but we didn't want
them. Could have been. They shouldn't be.
Oh,
yeah.
By the way, the Nationals are
storming.
They're 8 games back from the wild card.
Dude, yeah,
they're about to pass the Padres.
That's what I just saw. Davey Martinez got a 2-year extension today, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And the GM, I'm just kidding. I was like, "What the fuck is going on there?"
When you can do that nothing,
with nothing, they're damn near as close to the Padres, who are spending $500 million, it feels like, on their roster.
That's probably true. But definitely way more than the Cincinnati Reds or the Miami Marlins are spending, that's for sure.
By the way, my MLB The Show Diamondbacks franchise currently has, amongst other players, Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto on it.
I hope you lose every game.
Oh, I don't have a farm system.
Arizona Diamondbacks, though, that's a beautiful sight right there.
Yeah, it is, man.
We see you, Cubs. We're coming for you.
I believe, dog.
I
believe.
7 games against the Chicago Cubs left, too, by the way. So
also, before we get too far from the Nationals, HMS bringing in Stone Garrett. I would like to have him. With what he's doing for the Nationals right now, I would love to have him on this team.
That's crazy. Like, as if he was a part of this team and they just cut him. They just DFA him. Right?
I know.
Like,
and now he's an everyday player for the
Nationals.
Nationals. To be fair, our everyday first baseman was waived by a team. So, it goes both ways.
That's also true. But somebody who we traded for and would never be waived by anybody is also our King Snake, because we are giving our King Snake for this series to Gabriel Moreno. Gabriel Moreno went 5 for 12 in the 3 games he played.
Tantrum.
Yeah, look, he looks like he's. You gave it me the King Snake. I don't want to be the King Snake.
Oh, was it? Okay.
5 for 12. He had that huge home run in the finale. 6 RBI for only playing in 3 of the 4 games. So, Gabriel Moreno, God, we missed you so much.
Remember when Carson Kelly was on this team?
I do not. I don't want to. I refuse to. That is a memory in my head. Oh,
God. And it's really good. Gabby is... It's just really nice to have him back. Like, and I don't know. I feel like I might oversell the importance of a catcher sometimes, especially when I talk about a certain baseball team from St. Louis. But like,
he loves that comparison.
It is interesting that their struggles were very much correlated, at the very least, to his absence, and he's back. And now not only is he producing, but the team's winning games. So it's very nice to have Gabby back.
Elizabeth wants to know who chose that photo. You want to go ahead and answer that?
I loved his bat flip. I thought his energy was crazy.
It is good. I think you need the context of it being
Gabby Moreno's bat flip greater than Fernando Tatis's bat
flip.
Greater
than Jose Bautista.
That was I was really glad. the Diamondbacks were able to do what they did after the Tatis's bat flip. That really just still pissed me off. Man,
fuck Fernando Tatis and fuck that wannabe Campusano. Both of them. I don't like either of you. I really liked Tatis until he started juicing. Now he's a fraud.
Everybody is right, though. He did have 2 homers and not the one, and that one's my fault. That's my fault. I did know he had 2 homers. I was doing a lot of stuff before the show, but anyway. We thank you guys for being here now on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to do so now. Sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss whenever we go live. Leave us a little thumbs up just to give us that feeling of satisfaction that you like us. If you're listening on the podcast side, please subscribe to us there as well. Leave us a review. We always appreciate that feedback. Most importantly, though, sign up for a PHNX Die Hard membership today. You can get yourself a Die Hard membership, which will pay for itself instantly. Get a free piece of merchandise from phnxlocker.com, 20% off all future purchases. You also get so many other benefits, including benefits with our partners, like a $50 gift card with Mountain Mike's Pizza. You get that Dobson Ranch card. You also get access to our members-only Discord lounge, which is the best place to be an Arizona sports fan, and so much more. Members-only discounts on events, members-only invites to events, members-only merchandise, so much stuff. Just join us today, become part of the family. Maria gave us an update that Dodger Stadium is not flooded, never was.
Listen, I'm pro Maria because I love when we have people from other teams in our chat, but it's very funny being like getting your feelings hurt that people accuse Dodger Stadium of being flooded. Like, first off, like the ravine was flooded, and also like, who cares? There was a hurricane. I don't think anyone's being like, loser Dodgers poverty franchise. Their fucking stadium got flooded. Like, I don't think...
that a bandwagon?
I don't know, man. I love you though, Maria. I appreciate you being here.
We're anti-hurricane around here.
Yeah,
Maria.
we are anti-hurricane, and if that makes us pro-Dodger, then we're pro-hurricane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we might have to make some adjustments. He's not wrong, but we thank you guys, of course, for being here every Monday. We know what this thing is. I mean, every month on this show is Black History Month.
Yes, it is.
Every month on this show is Women's History Month. And every month on this show is Black Women's History Month. Also, every week is Shark Week. Every day is Earth Day. But none of that matters right now because today is Monday. And on Mondays, we go to the goddamn mailbag. Damon, let's go.
My mailbox. Always something interesting in my mailbox. I try to get to everything in my mailbox. And then once in a while, there's a letter that makes me go, wow, wow.
All right, what do we got, Damon? First question comes from Bold as Bronze. That's Gabriel on Twitter. And he says, are we back? Of course we're back, Gabriel. He said, or did we just face bad teams and we'll be back to mediocrity this week?
Can I just say this?
Please.
We're going to get our ass kicked by the best offense in baseball in the Rangers. More than likely.
Yeah.
Relax. Just preemptively relax.
Prepare yourself for that. Know that's going to happen. Expect that result. If it doesn't happen, then you can be pleasantly surprised. But know that there's a good chance that they're going to get swept in 2 games.
I just wanted to preface that. Again, I think the story of the season has been that the truth is somewhere in the middle of everything you see. Are they going to win every game for the rest of the season? Like, no. What we saw against the Padres is probably as much a product of the D-backs as it is the Padres. Because, again, the Padres suck. They are out of the playoff race. Regardless of what their lineup is and whatever potential and the run differential, blah, 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 they're still losing games. And that's just the reality of the matter. And on the other side, the Rangers aren't. The Rangers are, I mean, yeah, they got swept by the Brewers, but they are a very good team. So, again, I think the truth is going to lie somewhere in the middle of what you see over this last couple of weeks and these upcoming weeks. But
it's the opponents that they have ahead that are in the wild card race with them, that they have so much opportunity to make ground up against or distance themselves against, right? They have 4 with the Cincinnati Reds, 7 with the Cubs, 3 with the Giants. Right there, those are the teams that they're playing for this spot. And then they have some very tough opponents ahead with a couple of weaker opponents
they get
mixed
to play
in.
the Rockies again. They get to play the absolute poverty franchise that is
the White Sox.
The New York Yankees.
Oh.
Just got swept by the Boston Red Sox.
I mean, it could have gone either way right there.
But also that. But to answer the question, the Diamondbacks are back. I think the reality is that their offense had disappeared. It was completely gone, and there was just no life in the team.
Yep.
And that's not the case anymore. They are back in that sense, in the sense that they're whatever was going wrong with them over the month and a half up until throughout July, that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. Does that mean they're going to go back to being one of the best teams in baseball and run away with the wild card race? Probably not. But I do think they are back in the sense that they haven't defeated themselves before they show up to the ballpark, and they have a chance to win basically any game in a way that they did not throughout all of July.
Yeah. And I mean, they've got some contributions from guys that they traded for that have helped. Tommy Pham, is riding a hit streak. You have Paul Sewald able to come in and close the door in a way that we really haven't seen any reliever do so for this team. And stuff with baseball doesn't happen instantly.
You left out Jace.
I did. Jace is also there. He's also there.
Oh, but he hasn't been good for us recently?
Am I supposed to say something good about him? Do I have to?
He's there.
He's there. That's what I said. All right, what else we got, Damon? They're back, by the way. That's the answer to that question. Brian Bobbitt asks, the first Rich Hill Zach Gallen match broke the losing streak, and now we've won 7 of 9. Does this mean Dick Melk is the cure for losing? Dick Melk's the cure for everything.
Yeah, there's way more jokes in there than I can make than I'm going to.
We don't have the time.
But
we literally don't have the time for all the Dick Melk jokes that we can make.
But yeah, I mean, it appears so. Literally. And I mean, realistically, like a cure for winning, having one of the best pitchers in baseball pitch against one of the worst pitchers in baseball, or a cure for losing. I mean, that's a good way to kind of figure your shit out, and that does seem kind of like what's happened. Like they needed those wins, and Dick Melk got Melk got him from Dick. If
Dick Melk can create life, it can end a losing streak.
Yeah,
right, and that's what we saw.
Dick Melk can do so many good things.
The bigger thing is that the Melk part of that Dick Melk scenario.
Well, I mean, everyone. Never mind.
You're going to say everyone loves Dick.
Well, I was going to say everyone loves Melk, not everyone loves Dick.
Yeah, that's true. No, but not everybody loves Melk, right?
I mean, I don't, but I mean.
You had a whole conversation with how much you had. Milkman always delivers. That's the point. But no, I mean, of course, I think it comes down to belief that you can win, right? And I mean, it turned things around. It seemed like it
was there for a while.
But like Paul, again, we talked about this before. Paul Sewald joking with Torrey after they got that win. He said, I told you we'd win again. Like they were even joking about the fact that it felt like they were never going to win another baseball game again. So sometimes it's just about realizing that that's silly and that you're a professional team and that you can win and to get out of that mindset. But also the purple jerseys might have did it. Our takeover might have did it. There were a lot of factors.
There's a lot of things that went their way. And also, Aaron, you're right. Jace is like a good dude. So there's that.
Yeah. Jace is absolutely a good dude. Honestly, the best.
I talk a lot of shit about people as baseball players, but
why do we have to get here?
I don't really give a shit about. I mean, like I do care if they're good people, but like. Me thinking that Aaron Boone is like the worst man on the face of the planet has nothing to do with who he is as a person. It's just that he's a dog shit baseball manager for the worst team in baseball.
That's fair. What else we got? Big Red 27, Jacob Nevin 27 asks, since the D-backs Hall of Fame class of 2024 was introduced earlier this year, RJ and Gonzo, who do you guys see as a candidate for the class of 2025? Speaking of people that we don't like as a person and don't think are good people, Curt Schilling.
Oh, I was like, where are we going with this?
No, I wasn't going to call Jacob a bad person. Jacob's a good dude. No, this is Curt Schilling because Curt Schilling absolutely is a huge reason why the Arizona Diamondbacks
Shawn and I
have a World Series.
A Curt Schilling jersey at the D-backs game, and we were like, that's nuts.
That is a crazy move to do that right now. Like, that is a wild move to do that right now. Yeah. It's like putting up a Kanye poster in your dorm room. It's like, that was cool a decade ago. Yeah. We've learned some things about that man since then. You probably shouldn't be representing that. Anyways, I mean, from a pure performance perspective, he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. And especially and he's one of the greatest pitchers in this franchise's history. Obviously very important to it. So if we're just doing this based on baseball, sure. I'm of the opinion that he should never be in any Hall of Fame, this one or the Professional Baseball Hall of Fame. I think part of it, and I've talked to people who have been involved in the Baseball Hall of Fame about this before. Like, part of the Hall of Fame is also like representing yourself well. It's more than just who you are as an athlete or as a baseball player. So I'm of the opinion that he should never be there, but from a baseball perspective, he certainly deserves it.
I feel that way when you're talking about like a team parting ways with a guy or something like that, right? Because you are not immune to who your character is impacting whether or not baseball teams want to have you a part of their franchise. However, I'll put cards on the table. I hate Curt Schilling. I think he's a rotten, terrible human being for the things that he said, his actions, the way that just his entire post-playing career. I cannot take away what he's done on the field for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So if you talk about Arizona Diamondbacks Hall of Fame, then he deserves to be acknowledged and a part of that history. But I mean, if you want to go the route of it's a privilege, then I completely agree with you. Just like playing in baseball, playing in Major League Baseball, playing any sport is a privilege, and nobody, no matter how good they are, has the absolute right to play it. It's still based on teams wanting to be involved with you and have you be a part of their organization. I understand your feelings on it.
I mean, my thing is if you're gonna put him in the Hall of Fame and you don't care about the off the field stuff, then retire his number. Like, what's the excuse for not doing that?
That's a good point. 38.
And if your excuse for not doing that is because he's a dog shit person, you don't want his number sitting
hanging
up in front of the field, then he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. There's my point. I like what a lot of people are saying about Schulte.
Yeah, Greg Schulte.
That makes so much sense.
Absolutely would be a great call. Yeah.
I'm anti Curt Schilling. To answer Marco's question, not to get in specifics, he just said a lot of very just blatantly xenophobic and racist stuff on Twitter.
Yeah. I think it goes beyond Twitter. I think he's even said it in interviews and in public.
Yeah. He's just been a very bigoted person for the many years since he's left baseball. Well, I mean, he probably was then too. But, I don't think necessarily Elise was trying to compare Pete Rose to Curt Schilling. Obviously, very different situations.
Pete Rose has some stuff too.
Pete Rose definitely has.
We don't need to get into.
Yeah, but
if you want his autograph, just go to some Las Vegas mall right now. I bet he's in there hucking his autograph somewhere.
Curt Schilling. I'm out on that. If we're looking for an answer to this question, though, Schulte, I think it should be at the top of that list.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's
I agree.
A player. Executive,
maybe Bob Brenly too.
Yeah, I was thinking
Bob Brenly.
Bob Brenly. What about like Mark Grace or Matt Williams or something?
Yeah, those two. Yeah.
I would say
like the big. You got to just kind of go through all the big names from the World Series.
Yeah,
like you got to. Which, again, then you have to get into the conversation because if you're going through the big names of the World Series, then Curt Schilling's at the top of it. I would argue he's top 3 in that list. So, it is. It's definitely a conversation you have to have. It's what is a baseball team's place in all of this?
Yeah. Elise's point was she was asking, do Reds fans still wear Pete Rose jersey? I think Pete Rose honestly is a completely different thing, like Connor said. But I mean,
even if
still bad in its own right, but
even if Pete Rose is a bad person outside of the betting stuff, like the reality is that when I see Curt Schilling, I see bad person. I see racist. When I see Pete Rose, I see someone who was his reputation as someone who bet on baseball and ultimately is getting screwed by the league and by the Hall of Fame. Not as someone who's a bad person.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that Curt Schilling has done in my mind has gone above and beyond anything he's accomplished on a baseball field, and it's ruined that for me forever. It's not necessarily the same as far as I'm concerned with Pete Rose.
I could see someone wearing a Pete Rose jersey and not think two things about it. But if I saw someone wearing a Curt Schilling
it's a statement
jersey,
in my mind.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You might have just been a fan of Curt Schilling. That might be a fucking Curt Schilling jersey you've had for 20 years. That might totally be the case. In my mind, when I see someone wearing a Curt Schilling jersey, I feel like you know about the comments he's made and you're okay with them. So now I start to think that you might have those same feelings and comments and things, and then there you go. Like that's the reason why sometimes like Kanye.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Perfect
comparison,
right? Like
right?
whether or not Pete Rose is a bad person is not neither here nor there. It's obviously important, but to me, as far as the jersey thing is, or as far as inducting him into the Hall of Fame, like when you see if they induct Curt Schilling into the Hall of Fame, or if you wear a Curt Schilling jersey, that becomes a statement, because when people think Curt Schilling, they think this stuff automatically, and that's probably that's not the case with Pete Rose.
And not everybody does. Marcos didn't even know what was going on with Curt Schilling, right? So, again, not everybody knows when they're wearing an athlete's jersey. Maybe they just like that guy. Maybe they were just a fan of them at one point.
At this point, I think it's kind of unexcusable not to really know who Curt Schilling is as a person if you're going to be representing Curt Schilling. But
I mean, that goes. I don't think this with all sorts of things that you're a fandom of. Yeah, unfortunately, you have to
back to the original question, because we kind of derailed it with the Schilling conversation.
Womack's a great
has a pretty important hit in D-backs history. So
Jay Bell, I like that shot.
Yeah, Jay Bell. That's Jay Bell to me. When I watch Jay Bell hit, I've probably said this 100 times. He looks like the Major League Baseball logo. He had that perfect batting stance.
I wanted to ask you this too, because Ryan brought it up. Yeah. Obviously, it's down the line because he's still playing. But how do you put Goldney in the Arizona Diamondbacks history thing? Like, is he a Hall of Fame Arizona Diamondback? Because I feel like the retiring the number is probably too far.
Sure,
because he spent too much time with another organization. Sure. But in terms of being in the Hall of Fame or something like that,
and what did he really do besides he was good here. Like he was good here, but he didn't.
He was the Arizona Diamondbacks for a while.
He was, and he's had every award, Silver Slugger Award, Golden Gloves, all that kind of stuff. But I think ultimately that relies on what his career with the St. Louis Cardinals is like.
True,
because I feel like
if he goes to win a World Series,
when all is said and done, I think he might just have a longer more important career.
Yeah, I mean,
or
like
portion of his career with the Cardinals.
He's going to go into the World Series wearing a Cardinals hat if he wears one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that's probably fair, which is why I don't like the idea of retiring his number. Because I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be a Cardinal, not a Diamondback. But I do think he has a very important place in Diamondbacks history, which is why something like a Hall of Fame
would make a lot
more sense to me, personally.
All right. What else we got here, Damon? Brett Lee Johnson says, Petco Park had beer bats, and it got me so jealous that I can't sip on a Four Peaks Wow at Chase Field, yet Salt River Fields has them. Shake my head. My question is, what's one thing you've seen other stadiums have that you would love to add to Chase?
Ooh. First of all, are we talking from a concession standpoint? Because I'm assuming we're not talking about like adding a slide in center field like the Brewers have.
I want the Brewers slide, but I want our pool still, and I want the slide to end in the pool. How much? That is a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer.
Tear down this the center field wall and put a rock feature like they have in Los Angeles. I want center field to be more interesting and dynamic. Okay. So if we're going from a feature perspective, that's up there for me.
I feel like he was asking more condiments.
But yeah, exactly. Right? If I'm doing that, this might surprise some people. I'm going to give a shout out to Yankee Stadium. A long time ago, I had like a souvenir cup.
Yeah.
But it had like a bowl that was built into the top of it. And the straw came up through it, and it had chicken nuggets and fries, or tenders and fries in it. So it was like a beverage, and then it had, but it wasn't for kids. It was like grown ass.
I get you.
And so I was like, something like that would be dope, where I can eat my nuggets and sip at the same time, or tendies at the same time.
Maze Devil says no humidor. I'm completely on board with that. I will say when it comes to food,
move the walls in.
When it comes to
our pitchers are getting their asses kicked.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He just wants more offense.
Yeah,
he wants
I guess so.
No humidor. Wants the walls moved in. He just wants nothing but home runs. When it comes to food items from other ballparks, I feel like we have a good mix. I feel like the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field has a good mix. Having worked there, I would like more food options. Like just because they have, 10 doubleheaders that all serve the same food. They have Red Hots that all serve the same food.
Part of the charm with the Diamondbacks, because part of the thing that I love about Diamondbacks games, and I don't think is replicated anywhere else, is just how cost effective it is, and that's part of their charm. Is that you can go to double headers or double whatever it's called everywhere and go get a $2 hot dog. Like that's dope. I think, kind of to Brett's point, we need more creative ways to get drunk at Diamondbacks games. You don't really have anything other than a plastic cup or a tall boy.
I think in Oakland they have like frozen boozy pops. Like that. How does that not make all the sense in the world for one of the hottest places in the world?
There needs to be like a more diverse choice of like carnival style foods.
Where's
the fried dough? Give me a fried dough. I want a fried dough.
I know, like anything I can get at the fair, I should be able to get there, right? Like some stupid
snow cones. Fried, I don't even like snow cones, but I want all that.
I personally have not stopped thinking about Chinese food being
Panda.
Yeah, because they used to have a Panda Express in there, and they took it away from me, and it broke my heart. Just like when they took Dutch Bros away from me, I would have rather that they never existed inside of the stadium, rather than know they did at one point, and for them to be gone.
We got them waiting out there, so probably I'm thinking a illegal Pete style thing where you can walk through and be like, I want white rice, black. That seems like it'd be relatively easy to implement,
like a bowl burrito taco situation.
Because it's a very like kiosk type situation. So that'd be pretty dope. I will say my favorite, I think, food item that I have had at a ballpark is either like the tri-tip nachos that I had at Petco, or the Primanti brothers like sandwiches they have at Pittsburgh, where they have like the fries on them and the delis, like that. Immaculate.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, one thing that they serve there, they have like meat in a cone. This is something that you can get like at like California Adventures too.
I think the pastry type cone thing.
Yeah, it's like a cone, and then they have like meat in it, like or macaroni and cheese or something like that. It just seems to make all the sense in the world for something that's that portable to have it at a ballpark. Right.
So quick to answer Michael's question, no, they probably can't open the roof because there's a chance of rain. Correct. That would be the whole thing right there.
Correct.
And then,
but man, I wish they did.
I just want like they should idea Mr. Kendrick. It's a kiosk called Copycats, and what they do is it's kind of like what they do with the Versus Dolly, but they expand it. They just like copy of like whenever the Red Sox are in town, they're selling Fenway Franks and fucking
that's a
baked
good
beans
idea.
and
So
shit.
if we face the Mariners, you
Yeah,
bring
we're
me
just,
like toasted crickets.
But not from like you got to be careful about how you market it, because you're not marketing it as being like, oh, let's appeal to the visiting fans. It's not like, nah, we're taking their shit, and we're doing it better. Fuck them. Yeah, like get some garlic fries.
Maybe that's the problem with the versus dog. Is the versus dog seems too much to a lot of people. Like it's appealing to the opposing fans.
We need to be like, we're taking your shit and we're doing it better.
Yeah,
I could really use like a Mexican style lager at the stadium,
like an Estrella.
Yeah,
I can get you one of those somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
Well, they're
You're
just
not looking
as
in the right
accessible.
place.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure you could seek them out, but like, they're not sold at all the beer places. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about
That's
why?
one thing.
Can
I
we
need
talk
more
about why I'm
consistency.
paying $16 for a beer this big when I can also pay $16?
We're not talking
for a
about
beer
that.
this
We're
big?
not
Can we
talking.
talk about
no,
that?
We can't. We're not talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. What I will say is there needs to be more consistent. So like there's they have the beer kiosk where they have the coolers on the side, and everyone needs to be the same. Because sometimes I go to them and like they're like, oh, they don't have WoW at this one, and I'm like,
I walked all the way over here for this.
Yeah.
For this. This is all I wanted. And now I have to either get another beer or go searching
just put
for
me in
another
charge
stand.
of franchise, Ken.
There you go. That's your answer.
Mr. Kendrick.
Mr. Kendrick. Yeah, thank you. You're not on a first day basis like me
Hey,
and
he
Jesse
complimented, or no, he didn't. That wasn't him.
No, a different person. But
Petco and Dodger Stadium are like flooded with like Mexican style beers all over the place.
Modelo stands
yeah,
and
that's
everything.
why
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And Blake, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, I mean, if this was Yankee Stadium, okay. No, that wouldn't even make any sense. There's hella Dominicans and Puerto Ricans in the Bronx. Like,
yeah. Marco says add Pete's fish and chips to
dog,
Chase.
yes.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
I'm getting Pete's for dinner. You just, yes, Marcos.
As a matter of fact,
my dog.
More local
Fish and
staples.
chips and we feed families.
Let's talk about like local staples. Like that's what Little Miss Barbecue in there. Maybe a Pete's fish
you
and
see
chips.
That the one on Central fell through?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Which they would have heard a lot more if
it would have hurt so much.
I've never had Little Miss, but I've heard
across
good things.
the street from our old office.
But yes, I agree with stuff like that. Like they used to have like not that it's local, but like, and now they have Black Rock there now, but like Dutch they used to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that. Dog, put a Filiberto's in Chaseville and get some carne fries.
Why haven't we done that yet?
Shitting me?
Why isn't there a stand that
Put
ends
me
in
charge of the
Berto
franchise,
some way?
Ken?
Yeah,
Mr. Kendrick?
It will make you money. We'll make you money. Do you not love money?
I'll make the jerseys purple and I'll put a fucking Filiberto's in Chaseville and you'll make money hand
bring
and
Dutch
fist.
Bros back. It'll be fine. Condogs is Carolinas. Absolutely. I'm on board with all of it. But anyway, of course, we want you guys to sign up over at BetMGM if you haven't done so already, because me and this guy will tell you right away, it makes sports more fun. It absolutely does. But what also makes sports more fun is betting risk-free on anything that could make you money. Yeah. And you could do that with Nerfy Fridays over at BetMGM. Get on Nerfy Fridays this easy. You just opt into the promotion, place a no-run first inning bet on any Major League Baseball game. And if your bet loses, but only one run is scored during the first inning, you will receive a bonus bet equaling your stake up to $25. And like we said, the last couple of weeks, it's actually been $50. So get that money in, make that money. No run first inning. All you got to do is bet
there was no run in the Diamondbacks game on Friday.
That's right.
First one.
No on will there be a run in the first inning market. And of course, those are available only on Fridays. So if you haven't signed up for BetMGM app yet, use code PHNX now when you do. There's a few different offers depending on where you live. But for our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use bonus code PHNX. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
Also, if you are looking for the most amazing, most comfortable clothing to wear, check out our friends at Pins and Aces. They make golf apparel. That's what they say. But remember what I say. Any golf apparel could be just regular everyday wear if you just rock it the right way. So check out the Pins and Aces gear. We absolutely love the stuff they have. We get tons of compliments on it. They got us our Phoenix shirt. We love them so much. They are the official golf apparel partner of PHNX and ALLCITY. And of course, they make amazing polos, hats. golf bags, and even our favorite beer sleeve. And again, none of these items need to be used on a golf course. They could all be used just in your normal everyday life. It's a family-owned golf and apparel business, and of course, we love them so much. So make sure to check out Pins and Aces over at their website, pinsandaces.com. You can use code PHNX to receive 15% off your first order, and you will get free shipping. That's code PHNX to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping over at pinsandaces.com.
Derek, just look at my computer briefly.
Oh, yeah. Watchman and WD said Buddy Kennedy looks like a young Ron DeSantis, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. That might does that count as a Mailbag Monday question? I feel like it should.
Does he look like Ron DeSantis?
Does he look like Ron DeSantis?
What politician, what 2024 presidential candidate does Buddy Kennedy most look like? I'm going to go with Ron DeSantis.
That's an affirmative answer.
Ben Carson's still running? Because if it's, then it's him.
Marcos asked, are you guys going to Corbin Carroll bobblehead on Saturday? I've literally cleared all of my plans to make sure I'm there for Corbin Carroll bobblehead night.
I can't go.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I just realized that. I have a dinner. No, man.
Looks like I'm going to have to get you a bobblehead.
I didn't get a purple jersey, man. I've been slacking.
Yeah, sad. What else we got in the mailbag there, Damon? Next question comes from Jacob, and Jacob asks, why would you not start Jarvis? Why start Magoof? And by Magoof, he's talking about McGuff. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on that. That was a very weird situation, similar to the way that Torrey decided to start Mantiply the night after he had a bet. Yeah, right. Like, he is literally just looking for these openers to go one inning. And
I think that's more what it is.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah, I don't think it's a sign of any kind of disrespect or lack of trust from the other guys. I think it's more about how he wants to set up how it plays out to where he trusts guys like Jarvis to maybe go a couple of innings, but he'd rather that happen, through the heart of the lineup and go through the top of the lineup maybe one more time.
McGuff went 2 1/3 innings. He let Jarvis go 3 2/3. I think it's really just about usage. Yeah. I think it was about being more comfortable with having Scott McGuff pitch early in the game rather than have him pitch late in a high leverage situation.
I mean, if you're pitching in a situation like this, obviously it's different with a starter, but in a situation like this, if you're pitching 3 innings, it doesn't matter if it's 1 through 3 or 4 through 6, ultimately.
Peter Strzelecki made his debut in that game. He went 1 1/3 innings pitched. He gave up 1 hit and walked 2. The Diamondbacks were able to add him just due to the doubleheader. The doubleheader, so they were able to expand their roster briefly. But yeah, I mean, honestly, they got some really good pitching, especially in that blowout finale where they won 8-1, and that was the bullpen game. So I don't really. I really think that at times Torrey is just trying to do the best with what he's got. And really, I feel like the results determine on if we get mad at him or not, right? Because sometimes it feels like he's making the right move. And at other times it doesn't, and it goes the right way. Yeah. When he makes the right move, it doesn't go his way. So I don't really know. I feel at times very frustrated myself on behalf of Torrey based on the fact that it seems very hard for him to do the right thing,
That's the thing, man. Like, getting back to what I keep saying, like, the truth is somewhere in between of everything you've been seeing. Like, everyone's going to overreact to everything that happens on a day-by-day basis. It's just kind of the reality of it. But, like, they're bullpen pitchers. If they were supposed to throw 3 innings scoreless, they'd probably be starters. Like, they make mistakes. Everyone, like, the bullpen hasn't been that bad.
Yeah.
It ain't been that bad. Things haven't been that bad.
Lately, the bullpen hasn't been that bad. Like, Castro definitely.
Could be last year.
You could say Castro, blew that game that they lost 4-0. But honestly, they lost it 4-0. It could have been 1-0, and they still would have lost. The Diamondbacks weren't able to muster up any offense. So that'll
be a bigger issue when they're losing 8-1 games because the bullpen has given up 6 runs once they come in. Like, that's a different conversation than them losing 1-0. Or something like that.
Connor is asking, over under 2.5 hours before gates open when I have to get to Chase on Saturday to get a bobblehead. I'm taking the over on that one. And Nicholas says, if it's Cogs time, you take the under. Always take the under on Cogs time. I hate to tell you guys this. I'm not sure who is in the Discord chat or not, but we DFA'd Cogs.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we DFA'd Cogs. So we're waiting to see if he clears waivers to come back.
Has he just not been hitting? Like,
there's a lot of questionable production when it comes to Cogs, right? And I mean, he's still a young guy. He's got a lot to offer. Maybe get out there and
we've seen flashes.
He was trying to get picked up by the CHGO podcast guys. Potential, So I mean, it makes me feel like we made the right move by DFAing him.
I mean, there's worse trains to hop on than the Cubs right now. I suppose.
That's true. What else we got, Damon? Aaron Hughes asks, when the expanded rosters come in September, who do we see come up? McCarthy, Fletcher, what pitchers? Absolutely great question. I think Dominic Fletcher and Jake McCarthy are both fairly obvious candidates for that. But really, when it comes to their top prospects, the Diamondbacks haven't really been shying away from giving guys an opportunity lately. I don't think, and I know we have this question coming up here, but I don't think we're going to see any of the real top guys. I don't think we're going to see Jordan Lawler, Drew Jones, Yumin Lin. I don't think we're going to see any of those guys. But I think there is a chance when it comes to pitchers that the Diamondbacks could see a couple of guys like Blake Walston potentially that have kind of been in their system for a while and haven't had that chance. Not Tristan English. Blake Walston. Blake Walston is probably the name that I would say.
Do you think
right
there's
now
any chance that Blaze gets called up?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that there isn't a chance. I think that there's no chance that Jordan Lawler gets called up, and that's my opinion. Just because I don't think that they're going to do that just yet. Blaze is kind of in an interesting spot, right? Because he plays shortstop, he plays second base, he plays third base. There's a lot that he could offer there. If he could potentially kind of move into that third base role for them that they're still seemingly looking for answers at, I think that could potentially be it. But
yeah, I mean, at that point, you might as well. I mean, I think obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that Jake will be a part of that, right? I mean, I think really the bigger, I think it's pretty obvious he'll be a part of that. It really just depends on what they need to do. But I would like to see Lawler. I mean, I think worst case scenario, you're kind of stuck with what you've had. Best case scenario, you don't have to see Nick Ahmed. Yeah. Or Jace Peterson.
There is a lot of talk about Lawler being called up. I just don't think that the time is there, and I don't think that they're going to rush him to get up to a major league level. Last year with Corbin Carroll, he was at AAA for much longer than Jordan has been currently. But who knows? I mean, there's one thing that's very weird about the Diamondbacks when it comes to especially Reno is it feels at times like I don't know how much they're getting there. I don't know how much
they're down there too.
I don't know how much they're focusing on the results in Reno, right? So it's like sometimes.
I mean, I feel like by and large they know what they have with the guys that are, because like it's not like this is a team full of Corbins or Lawlers where it's like, okay, what prospects are we going to call? Like, there was plenty of people who have made contributions on this MLB roster already, like Jake McCarthy, like Emmanuel Rivera, and stuff like that. So there's like MLB ready talent that you can call up to give you a better chance of win, especially as when you're making a push for the playoffs, which is in my mind why a guy like Blaze wouldn't get called up. So I feel like it's gonna, like, I feel like you're gonna see names that it's gonna be Dom Fletcher, it's gonna be Jake McCarthy, it's gonna be Emmanuel Rivera.
People are suggesting Ivan Melendez. Gabriel, I know you don't mean that. I know you don't mean that. Stop messing with me. Ivan Melendez still in Amarillo, so I don't think that's even less of a possibility than Jordan Lawler. But what else we got? Damon, we got more questions about. I know there's the question. E at Silas on Twitter asks, do you guys think there's a chance they call Lawler up next month because he's going to hopefully be a core part of the team moving forward? I think it would be good to get him some experience being involved in a pennant race. I don't disagree with that. Yeah. I just don't think that that's what's going to happen this year. I still think the Diamondbacks are playing with house money when it comes to this season. And I think that next year it makes all the sense in the world for him to come up, especially like around this time later, or even maybe start the year on the major league roster. But I don't think that they're going to move him through their system that quickly.
I would say on the flip side of that, though, like if you're playing with house money, this is the time to do it. Because in my mind, the only reason you don't do it is if you don't think he gives you a better chance of winning, because that's the goal right now.
No, you don't do it because of his development.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree, but I mean, if you think he gives you a better chance of winning, like, you call him up. I think if you think he can be better than Nick Ahmed or Jace Peterson, whatever, and actually contribute when you're trying to make the playoffs, like, you call him up. If you're like, in my mind, since you're playing with house money, if you just think this season is a throwaway, then you might as well call him up and get him that experience in a pennant race, because there's no guarantee you get to get him in that situation again. But ultimately, like, as far as the development is concerned, I agree that, like, I mean, I don't. The development's not really an issue for me because you're calling him up briefly at the end of a season. It's not like you're calling him up to be your everyday shortstop, right? So like if he doesn't perform, you just send him back and he will play in AAA again next year.
But with baseball, it's just not that easy. It's not that easy because
sometimes with this team, it's kind of been everyone. They've done it with 4 different guys that they've sent down and brought back up.
I know, but you're talking about 4 different guys that had their time to develop into what they believe was a major league ready player. I don't feel like Jordan Lawler is there yet defensively.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fair.
Offensively, he came into Reno like a bat out of hell, and then things cooled off for him. He's hitting 278, 391. So it's not terrible, and that's only in a very small sample size. He's played 5 games with the Reno Aces, but he also has a 611 slugging percentage and a 1.002 OPS. So there's good things happening for him down there, but I think that there is still a matter of becoming a well-rounded baseball player that occurs at a triple A.
I think there's an argument you can make either way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a no-brainer like Corbin, maybe, right? Like
Corbin was odd because Corbin, literally wherever they put him, Corbin was succeeding.
Yeah.
So it's like it just made all the sense in the world. Jordan, he has really good moments, but then he still has feedback you hear from scouts and people associated with the front office that still suggest there's a lot that he's working on. And I think that that's the key. I don't know if he gives you the best ability to win because I don't know how good his defense at a major league level is going to be. And right now, that's the one thing that you're getting from Nick Ahmed is the defense, supposedly.
The only thing
you're getting Geraldo Perdomo to still make some pretty damn good plays there at shortstop as well. So,
again, you have, as far as the left side of the infield is concerned, you do have Jace Peterson on this roster already. You do have Emmanuel Rivera that can play third base. So, as far as again giving you a chance to win, it's not like you're devoid of MLB ready talent on that side of the infield. So,
minor league is just so weird. Right, because really when it comes to the minor leagues, you can look awesome, and then you come up to a major league level, and you're a completely different looking player as far as your abilities and your success that you're having. And there's also just the fact that, in baseball, it feels like we constantly, especially a team like the Diamondbacks, an organization like the Diamondbacks, we always have to run to the minor league system in order for us to get some sort of help.
Yeah.
And then the minute it doesn't work out, the guy's a bum and he's useless and we should move on from him. We should trade him.
This year.
That's exactly what I'm describing, right? And now you look at Brandon Pfaadt's last outing and he almost had a no-hitter into
it's almost like pitching in Major League Baseball isn't easy.
Yeah, right.
A child. A literal child. He's younger than I am.
I know.
I still am on my mom's insurance. I am a child. I probably would get, I'd be a little rattled.
He was very excited that he got groceries last night.
I was.
So excited.
Grocery shopping at 9 p.m. on a Sunday is a whole ass vibe. There's nobody there.
It's a great time to go do that. And I don't even want to tell you people that because then you'll start going out.
Just as long as you don't do it at we don't have a grocery sponsor, right? As long as you don't do it at Fry's.
Yeah.
You can go do that shit at Safeway. Take your ass to Safeway. Crowd that shit up.
What else we got, David? Last question comes from Snakes on Base. And Snakes on Base asks, what player would you give an MLB The Show type of upgrade to help boost this team to the playoffs? Ooh, I like that.
Jace Peterson.
I
mean, there's ways to go about this.
There really is.
Because you either boost somebody that's not contributing, so you get extra contribution, or you boost someone like Corbin Carroll, where if you boost him, he comes obviously he hasn't been playing that well recently, but
come on, he was playing great in the series. Let's give credit where credit's due.
But I'm saying, if Corbin Carroll was playing to his full potential, and then you add an upgrade to that, then he's the best player in baseball. So that might be more valuable than a Jace Peterson who's contributing marginally, or you give it to a guy like Brandon Pfaadt. And then you have 3 very legitimate starters for the playoffs. And I think that's probably the most important thing you can do there.
Yeah, I think so too. I was thinking even maybe Zach Davies, because Zach Davies is going to be returning to the starting rotation.
Yeah,
you know he's going to be returning to the starting rotation.
At this point, an upgraded Brandon Pfaadt is better than an upgraded Zach Davies. So I'd rather have an upgraded Brandon.
But Pfaadt. I feel like Brandon Pfaadt is very good on his own right now. I feel like I want to upgrade.
But is Brandon Pfaadt right now good enough to be your number 3?
Yes.
Okay. In August, he has been.
Yes, in August,
Savage.
Savage.
He's a savage on the mound.
He's an absolute beast out there. I didn't think you said that about baseball players. I thought that would be too Aaron Boone.
Well, no, I think I use it kind of to make fun of Aaron Boone.
Okay, that's
a fucking joke.
That's fair.
I like the Alec Thomas
My guys
shout.
are savages in the box. Okay, Aaron, what does that mean?
Did you say you want to boost Alec Thomas?
Yeah, like if you could boost his bat and he's an old world defender and a great hitter, all of a sudden we're cooking.
Yeah, no, I know, because right now you don't need to boost his defense much or his sprint speed.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Yeah, if you can give that, or I mean, hey, Nick Ahmed might be the answer too, because if Torrey's insistent on playing that motherfucker every day, you might as well have him be worth a damn offensively, or like have him an arm that's not made out of pasta.
Yeah.
All respect to who you've been as a baseball player, but your arm's weak. Look at the stats.
There is no wrong answer when it comes to this, because
there's a lot of people that use an upgrade.
A lot of guys that can use upgrade, right? But the team continues to play
Maybe that's what the Dodgers do. Yeah. Guys show up, they're like, "Here's the upgrade. Here's a little boost. Here's your boost for the rest of the season."
That would make point. See, because like I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna pay for that myself. I'm not going to use real world money in the MLB The Show. But the Dodgers absolutely would.
They're buying fucking V-Bucks. Yeah, and they're upgrading their shit.
Oh, damn!
I know. I went Fortnite on them.
That's how Lance Lynn got so good, isn't it?
It was microtransactions, in-game purchases, not purely cosmetic.
Well, I can't stop thinking about food since we started talking about upgrading the food at Chase Field. It's right over there. I can smell it. Of course, we want to thank our friends from Illegal Pete's for hooking us up, making us well-fed, and of course, giving us a great place to hang out. The weather is cooling down. I don't know if you noticed. It's a good day. Today is a great day to go check out Illegal Pete's patio. My gosh, even if just for one day, it is patio
and it's
season.
Covered.
It's covered. That's right. So if it rains, you got it. But we love the rain here.
Yeah, true.
We don't get it enough. Like to sit out on a patio and watch it rain.
What I like about the Illegal Pete's in Tempe is they have like the outdoor bar that's facing the inside.
Yes. Yeah.
That'd be perfect for me.
Yeah, that's perfect. So go check out Illegal Pete's in Tempe or wherever one is close to you. They have irresistible drinks. Of course, all of their delicious food, bowls, tacos, salads, burritos, nachos. We're trying to get them in Chase Field, so we'll see if we can figure something out. But until then, make sure to check out their locations around the valley. Check out their bars. They have custom cocktails, their beers. Of course, don't miss out on that piping hot queso. So Illegal Pete's is your go-to spot this summer. Stop by for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day at all 12 locations. Illegal Pete's, the go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer for 28 years. Also, check out Circle K. Maybe if you have to make a drive to Illegal Pete's, stop and fill yourself up at Circle K. Fill your car up with gas.
I bought some Powerades at Circle K yesterday.
Did you? Did you get entered into the chance to win the Ford Big Ben Bronco?
Officially.
That's going to be weird when you have to fight yourself, potentially.
Well, no. I needed to do it so I could be officially entered.
Because they weren't going to let you be the end boss?
Yeah. They have to at least make it look like I entered, so when you get to the point where you fight me, it's not like they were just giving me a chance to win the car.
You don't get a bye till the final round. But you can get plenty of Powerades, 4 for $5, and be entered to win that Ford Big Ben Bronco SUV. You can also get buy 2, get 1 free Monster Energy drinks and buy 2, get 1 free Beatbox Hard Tea right now at Circle K. Make sure you're not missing out on all this great stuff. Text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club, and you will get a buy 1, get 1 free offer on 32-ounce Polar Pops. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you. That's all we got, guys. Of course, I'm going to spend the rest of the evening worrying sick about Jesse. You can maybe follow him on Twitter and let me know if you hear from him.
He liked my tweet, so either someone has his phone or he's okay.
That makes me more scared. You said somebody has his phone? I didn't even think that was an option.
All as I know is that Jesse Friedman liked my tweet. The only thing I can guarantee is that someone went on his phone and liked the tweet. I have no idea.
Was it the hurricane?
It might have been Tommy Pham.
Oh my God, Tommy, stop it. Jesse did not yell that thing at you. But in the meantime, follow Jesse Friedman on Twitter at Jesse and Friedman. I am at Cap_caveman with a K. This maniac is at Sean_DePaz. The maniac behind the Mac. That's Damon. We are Damon's dogs. And of course, you can follow him on Twitter at DamonDog, DAWG there at
Wait, Tim, do you have a Twitter?
What's Tim's Twitter? What is it?
If you want the people to follow you on Twitter, if you don't want to.
Everybody follow our guy Tim.
I know I just kind of put you on the
spot. He's rocking
here.
a coach. He's rocking a Coachella hat, and he has no idea what his Twitter account is.
I got a Twitter. It's on private though.
No, we don't gotta put you out there. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't want to.
Don't follow Tim. Whatever you do not follow Tim. He doesn't want you to follow him.
Tim does not have a Twitter. Do not look for it.
He doesn't even exist as far as you're concerned. But we exist, and we thank you guys for being here. Of course, you exist, and that makes you awesome. And the fact that you're here makes you even more awesome. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Of course, on behalf of this entire crew and not Tim, we thank you.
Oh no, on behalf of Tim, you just can't follow him on Twitter.
I don't know.
Tim is one of our interns, by the way.
You don't know Tim exists.
You don't know Tim.
Yeah, sorry. But of course, you guys can follow all of us besides Tim, and we thank you again. Remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it is so much more fun when you don't test Tommy Pham.